a new Balisong tutorial. Today I'm using the Benchmade Model 51 Morpho for a demo because it's just an awesome knife. Very light, nimble, fast, easy to work with. A lot of people ask me, what Balisong should I get? What Balisong should I get? And of course, price is always a factor. Not everyone has 200 bucks for a Balisong. However, if you can find one and you can afford one, or even save up, because the 42 is no longer in production and blah blah blah. The 51 I think is one of the best Balisongs, particularly for beginners because it's lightweight. You don't have, when you have a heavier Balisong, an all metal Balisong, such as the FU42 or similar, even if you get a new 62 from Benchmade or something, that heft really beats up on your knuckles, particularly, like I said, for a beginner. When you're doing ricochets and things are bouncing off your hand all the time, that extra weight and stuff will really bruise you up. Alright, so just for the sake of, even if you don't cut yourself, doing ricochets and stuff and bouncing off your knuckles, you will get raw and red, and you will bruise and you will bleed from that. You'll rip your skin open. You never have to touch that edge to hurt yourself. So, yes, light bellies are pretty much where it's at. The 51 is highly recommended. But anyway, I'm doing a tutorial today on something I call false ice or fake ice. The reason being is that you're basically doing like a basic horizontal, but you're kind of faking it out. You're not really doing the full basic horizontal. Instead, you're coming around into an ice pick grip. It's kind of a fun little twist. It's not something really that's new. I just put a name to it. Trust me, there is no new Balisong moves. If you come up with a Balisong move and you're like, oh, this is new. Nope. Someone somewhere did that move. They just didn't make a name for it, and they just didn't make a YouTube video about it or talk about it on the forums. But trust me, every single thing's done. There really is nothing that's new. However, if there isn't videos about it, or no one's talking about it, or there wasn't a specific name given to it, then sure, I guess it can be considered something new or newish. But believe me, whatever you come up with, someone's done it somewhere. So I don't really want to take credit for making this up. I'm just giving it a name. So anyway, it's pretty easy to do if you already have the basic horizontal down. It's basically just a little twist on it. Alright, so you're coming around into an ice pick grip. So don't worry, I'm going to break it down into other parts, but before I do, I want to give you a little teaser. Let me know if you think this aerial is pretty cool, because I've done this many times before, and I want to do a tutorial on it. I don't know if I already did a tutorial on this one. It's really simple. You just need to know one little tip, and once you get that tip, you can get this every single time, and it will land for you. It's really impressive. Any kind of aerial, I think, is impressive for people. Let me step back farther so you can see this, hopefully, the whole shot. But this one's just really cool because you will land it every time once you practice this. And if you're not good at aerials, this is one you can master. So anyway, just let me know a little consensus if you want to see a tutorial on that. But that's not what this video is about. It's just a little teaser. Alright, so the fake ice. Basically, there's two different things I want to discuss before I get into how to do the move. Alright, now obviously I edited this, I showed you it in slow motion. For a lot of you guys, that's all you needed. You saw the move regularly done, and then you saw it in slow motion, and you kind of get how to do it. But for a lot of you guys, you need it broken down step by step, which is fine. I'm going to do that. But there's two tips, or excuse me, not tips, but suggestions. My first suggestion is that when you do this move, choke up on the handle. The closer you are to the pivot, the more control you're going to have, and the easier it's going to be to actually do this move. That's just my opinion. All right. The downside to working close to the pivot is that when you spin this knife around and you grip it, obviously we're on the edge here, so don't go grabbing it really hard. Okay. At this point, that's when you kind of let it slip down or do a little shimmy with your fingers up the handle before you grip it. All right. So that's my first little tip to you, is that it's going to be easier to work your way closer to the pivot. Now, if you do want to end this move and have your grip normal like this, you don't want to be very close. Okay, obviously the higher you up on the handle as you're doing the move, when you end it, you'll have a normal grip. Okay, now if you do this move starting with the safe handle, which is the easier way to do it, you have less of a chance of actually cutting yourself because you can ricochet off that spine. But the one problem with that is that when you end up in the end, the blade edge will be facing towards you. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. It's towards me. This is probably the most awkward cutting position. You're not going to be using your knife to cut like this. You could still stab like this if you needed to. But generally speaking, when I get to an ice pick grip, I want my blade edge facing outwards. So I can still stab. However, I can also come in and sweep across for a slash, or I can come down with a slash. It just gives me a lot more options. I definitely want that blade edge outwards. So a tactical consideration would be to do this with the bite handle. Now, here's the problem. If you start with the bite handle, when you come around and swing, you cannot ricochet. Obviously, you're going to cut yourself. So, let me explain this further in depth if you don't know what I'm talking about. Holding the safe handle, okay, no latch. This is a safe handle. When you do this move, you're ricocheting. It's bouncing off your finger. And that's okay. You can do that all day long because it's a spine. It's not sharp. However, if you start off with the bite handle, when you come around, you cannot ricochet, okay? And what I suggest you do is when this blade and handle come down, it has the momentum that's swinging towards your fingers, about to cut you. At the last second, you have to kind of lift your arm and jerk backwards. By doing that, you're stopping the momentum of this swinging. All right, so this is coming down very fast, and you have to jerk at the last second, and this will kind of keep it from cutting you. It will not go all the way up and cut you if you do this. All right, but for beginners, don't even bother with that. Just do it the regular way, holding the safe handle. All right, and you have no fear of getting cut. But if you, like I said, if you're a little more advanced and you want to get this and you want to finish the move with the blade actually outward like it should be, then start off with your bite handle and just do the exact same move, the exact same way. All right, so now I want to show you each and every part of this move, okay? If you're used to doing a regular basic horizontal, then this is going to come very naturally to you. There is one tip towards the end that's going to help you greatly. All right, so you're starting off with a pinch grip, pointer finger and thumb, like many moves, on your safe handle, okay? You're doing 1.5 rotations. So what you're doing is you're swinging it around 1.5 times, okay? By basically releasing your fingers and letting this swing, but doing a little wrist motion. So it's coming around 1.5 times. So swing it up 1.5 times. All right. Now, for basic horizontal, we're just lifting it. We're done. But for this move, 1.5, and now we're going to change our finger positions. Okay. What's going to happen is all of our fingers are going to go right behind the safe handle. Okay, your thumb comes off the blade completely. And now we're going to flip this whole thing around and up. All right, I'll explain that further. 1.5 rotations. As this is coming down, before it even really ricochets off you, you want to start moving your fingers. Bottom 3 fingers come on the other side, and all you got to do is this motion. Okay, as you spread your fingers, you're pushing this, and it's going to swing around and up. Now, what the mistake a lot of you guys are going to make when you're trying this is you're going to do this, and it's going to bounce off your fingers, or it's going to come up and bounce off your fingers. The little trick in order to get this move done is towards the end, as this is coming up, you have to twist it. And the reason you have to twist it is so that you have a free channel. It's not going to come up and hit your finger this way. I'll give you a nice close-up. You don't want it to come up and hit your finger and bounce off, and you don't have enough time to start moving your fingers around. That's why when you come up, don't come straight up towards you. Come in like on an angle. And you come in on an angle, there's nothing in the path. It's going to come up against your other handle. At that point, you're just basically gripping it together. From here, you can go into your ice pick grip, your actual grip. All right? So 1.5 rotations, fingers go behind, comes up on an angle. Now, what's interesting is that your natural grip like this, you can still, you don't have to go into an ice pick grip. If you really want to do an alternate version of this move, you come up and around, but once it comes up here, you can just flip it back forward for a regular grip. Or you can just reach up towards that latch, do a latch drop closed, you know, spin around doing a latch drop open. You can do a variety of moves. But what's interesting with this move is as you're coming around, it kind of spins into your hand. That's why you get that blade facing you. Now, this happens naturally for me. Maybe you can help it. I can't, I naturally want to grip in, and that turns the whole blade. But if you were to come up, I suppose you can have enough resistance and then just grip it like that, as opposed to what I want to do and turn it in. Okay, that's why I end up facing the wrong way, because I end up pulling it in. That's just something naturally that I do when I try this move. And that's pretty much due to me trying to come in sideways. This is spinning, so now I just want to continue it, and it's just the most comfortable way to finish this move. But not a problem. Like I said, if you start off with the latch handle, you'll end up in that position anyway. So anyway, that's fake ice. Just my little demo here. Something that's kind of fun, something I've been doing lately, and I thought I'd share with you guys. Alright, that's pretty much it, guys. Real quick, just remember, tell me if you want to see this aerial, a tutorial on it. It's really fun to do. It's very impressive. It's not hard to do once you get the little, tip and trick. But that's pretty much it. Oh, you know what, before I go, I did say I was going to give you a demo with the FU42 because it does represent your heavier Balisongs. Certainly closer to the Jaguar Classics and so forth. So yes, you could still do the same move with a heavier knife. Tends to be a little bit more difficult. This does not offer the same grip that you get with the 51 with the cutouts. It seems a little bit more slick. Same with the 42 or even the 62. So just something to consider. But try it again here with the stainless. A little slower on this one. Not a huge deal. Appreciate your time as always, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.